You don't have to be like totally quiet for me. Where's Jeff? He's right there. Jeff's gonna, if any of you here are interested, I'm wondering just more information about the church. What's the church look like? What's, other than what you see? What are we about? Where do we, anything like that? If you guys will just kind of slip your hand up, Jeff's gonna come by. He'll give you like a new packet, just a packet of information. He's also gonna hand you a partnership form. This isn't so that you feel like you have to be partners. I want you to read through what we look like when we do partnership. If you're new with us, you'll know that, you probably don't know yet, but we want you to know, we don't do church membership, okay? We do church partnership. Here's the thing why we do this. Some people wonder. Church membership kind of sounds like a country club, right? Like you're a member of a country club and there's rights and privileges and this and that. And that's great. That's not a bad thing. Church partnership looks at it from the aspect that we're all in this together. Like everybody has a part. We're all together on this. And so we partner with each other for the gospel, okay? So he's going to bring those around. Jeff, if we need more packets, let me know. We'll get some more packets. On the partnership thing, we want you to read through that. There's scripture with everything that we have. Look up that scripture. And then in 3 or 4 weeks or so, you'll see something come out in the bulletin. We'll let you know when we're having a newcomer or a new partner, like dessert or class or something like that. And at that point, then you can even decide if you're interested and learn more about it. But I want to just put this in your hands for you to learn a little bit more about who we are and things like that and what we offer. If you don't know, it's the Gathering Church, but our legal name is the Gathering of Believers. And that's a great name, that believers together, gathering in the name of Jesus. And that's what it's all about. So, but we just go, honestly, that's so long to put on a t-shirt, so long to put on a logo, so long to put on things like that. And so, that's it, got it. You got it. So it's the Gathering Church is what we go by. And it's got everything, all that kind of information. So you can start looking over that, and in a little bit, I'll take questions on anything like that. But what I want to do now, maybe you have a pen, and if you don't have a pen, you can grab one or still one. If you want to write down certain dates, you can write these down. They'll be out through Facebook, through the church website, on the homepage, and things like that you can see. But I'll give you some dates and things that you can just be looking forward to and hopefully getting excited about. The first one is I want to explain to you a little bit more what next Sunday is going to look like. Okay, as I said this morning, next Sunday is the National Back to Church Sunday. So this is put on, and you can read more about it just if you go to the internet, type that in, a little bit more about what it's about. But what we're going to do is for that, we do what we call E1R1, all right? And you might have seen that in the bulletin this morning, and that literally stands for each one, reach one, okay? You all said this morning, how many of you would say tonight, there's somebody that you know that needs to be in church. There's somebody that you know who needs to hear about the love of Jesus. There's somebody that you know who you need to connect with. And so each one of you reach somebody else. And I tell you, the statistics is true. You can look it up online because remember, everything you see online is true, right? Just like Facebook. And so you can look it up, but there's so many different surveys and factual statistics that have been put out by the Barna Research Group, focused on the family, different people like that, that 82% of people will come to church with you if you just ask, right? How many of you are either here in this church or you first started going to church anywhere because somebody took you or somebody asked you to go, right? Somebody, whether it even be your parents, or maybe you came to this church because a friend or a family friend, maybe you heard about it, maybe you just drove by it and saw it and said, hey, I'll check it out. I don't know, but typically it's because somebody asked you to go. And maybe somebody was that religious weirdo who kept asking you, and you thought, I'll go one time and shut them up, and you've been here ever since, all right? I don't really care how it happened, but the truth is, people will come when you invite them. So if you did not get any of these cards this morning, or if you're like, hey, I need some more of them, I have more that you can pick up tonight, they'll be right up here, and you can take them with you as you do that. We're kicking off a brand new sermon series next week that's called Reset. And what we're going to look at over the next several weeks is allowing God to reset our heart, our mind, our voice. Like we want to reset, and when you reset something, it kicks it back over, it starts working well, it renovates it, it restarts, all right? And that's what we want to do. This is a great time for, how many of you are like me and you think, the summertime things will slow down, and it never slows down? Any of you like that? Like, oh, in the summer it'll slow down, and then it never slowed down for kids, whatever you had to do. This is a great time to say, hey, we're going to make sure that our focus and our priority is on the Lord. And we're resetting and allow God to do that. And I'm praying that God will reset some people that are in our church, that He would reset my life, that He would reset people who are who you're going to bring in with you. So my prayer is what I told you this morning. I pray that you would share your story and invite them to church as they look at your life. Not invite them to church and just hope that they get here in time. Okay? Share your story. Share what God is doing through that. So next Sunday, 9:15, 10:45. I'll tell you this. I have a goal. And what I want you to understand about us here is numbers, we're not driven by numbers. Okay? You're going to see numbers in bulletins. Every now and then you're going to hear numbers. I'm about to give you a number. Here's what I want you to understand about numbers. Here's the way that I look at it, okay? We don't talk a lot about how many people are coming, this and that. But if you've been here at all lately, or at least in the last 3 to 6 months, you've seen that things are picking up and God is on the move and He's doing great things and people are coming because of that. Listen, we're just trying to be obedient. They're not coming for me. They're not coming for the worship team. They're coming because they feel like at this place they can encounter Jesus and live in community together. And so we're not driven by the numbers, but here's what I want you to understand about numbers. What I do believe about numbers is there can be many people sitting in our church. I'm not so foolish to think that everybody in our church is going to heaven. I'm just being honest with you. I know that there are people who sit in churches every day who are probably very far from God. But what I hope to be true, what I really believe is that as more people come and the church is growing numerically, hopefully what that indicates is that people are growing spiritually, right? As people grow spiritually, do you keep it for yourself? Well, you do. You share it with other people. Then other people want a piece of that. It goes just with what we talked about this morning. And so that's how we feel. Hopefully the numbers are a good indication of what God is doing. We had 230 people between the two services this morning. That's an amazing blessing considering, when we launched 2 services back at Easter time, we were averaging 175. So we praise God for the people that He's brought, and now we're trying to do the best we can to love them. And that requires help, and that requires imperfection and faults and all of those kind of things. But I hope that by come Christmas time with our life groups and everything kicking in, people coming back, there's no reason why we can't see God continually send revival to our cities around and see Him just flood people here, flood people into Adair churches, flood people into prior churches. Listen, if you've not ever heard me say this, I want you to hear me say this now. And I tell this to our leaders. You can ask them. I believe this. You can ask my wife. I try to believe this with all my heart. I would be a liar if I told you as a pastor I didn't want you to come to church here, right? I like the fact that you're here. I enjoy you. I enjoy getting to be in community and family with you. But we are never churches against churches. We should always be, and we hope to always be, churches for churches. People have the styles they like, the preferences they like. Maybe they just, like a smaller church. Maybe they like to go to a bigger church. Wherever they feel God leads them to do, what we want to do is we want to support them in that area and aspect. So I don't even care. I hope you're inviting people to come to church here. I hope we're going to tell them, get somewhere, right? Plug in and get somewhere and serve Jesus in that area. So that's kind of our goal looking forward is to see God use that. And one way I believe He's going to do that is over the next 5 or 6 weeks as we launch this back to church. You guys are inviting people. Hopefully God's putting it on your heart. Share your faith. Share your faith. Talk to people. Talk to people. Listen, what you do when you do that is you say that you care about their eternity. You care about them serving Jesus. You care about them more than just believing, but actually living out God's call and God's word on their life. And so that's what I hope for you to do. A good way to kick it off next Sunday is we're going to have a baptism service, all right? I know Trent, where you at, Trent? Trent's right here, and his brother Trevor. They're going to get baptized next Sunday. Trevor's right back there, okay? They're going to get baptized next Sunday. If there's anyone here, and you'll see me post out this week, anyone who's interested in being baptized, maybe you've never been baptized and you want to, maybe you're recently saved, you want to take that next step. Maybe you were baptized or sprinkled or anything like that when you were a little kid and you don't even remember it. It means nothing to you and you feel like you're in a place where you want to do that. Talk to me. We will get that happening, and we would love to baptize lots of people next Sunday, all right? So we'll do our baptisms at the 10:45 service, I believe is the one that will do that. So if you're interested in doing that, and if we have enough, we'll do them at both services. It'll be set up and heated up already. It's not even going to be ice cold, all right? We have a heater, so it'll be warm. So that's next Sunday as well. The baptisms will be there. As I said this morning, ladies camp out. So Cindy, tell me a little bit more about your night of fire.
We're going to have a camp out. We're going to have hogs to eat on the grill there. And we're going to set there for the hogs.
Okay. So is there a cost to it? Is there
No, there's no cost. So we're not spending
no cost? So they just need to bring some.
We'll have the women bring some stuff. I'll go list some stuff and I'll show that Wednesday night.
Okay, so Wednesday night she'll have your list. So Cindy, raise your hand so everybody see you because you're short. All right. No, stand up, really do that. No, just you're okay. All right. So see Cindy, it's not just bringing sides and things like that. It'd be a great time of fellowship for you guys to do that. Oh, the date would be great for that, right? September 23rd. Okay. September 23rd, and where's it going to be? I don't even know that part.
That's across the Langley Dam on the left-hand side of the road.
Disney, Cherokee.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Riverside or
Do what?
Okay. So what they said is no clue what you're talking about right now. Okay. Cross the but see her or see Rhonda because it sounds like she knows at least where that's at. So you guys talk about and see it. They'll give you more where that's at. There is a sign-up sheet on the back, and then there's a flyer I think hanging up on the bulletin board out in the hallway too as well for that. Okay, and give you a little bit more details. But Cindy's in charge of that one. She'll take care of that so you guys see her like that. So since women are doing things, right? It's only fair, and I'm going to change what we're, not tonight, but I'm going to change what we're going to do. We're going to have man night on September the 29th, okay? That's a Thursday night. But I think that it would be easier. We were going to go to Buffalo Wild Wings because it's cheap wing night, right? So we'll get there eventually, but with as many guys, we're going to grill something up here at the church, all right? So we'll have man night at like 6:30 on September the 29th. I believe that's a Thursday. And what we'll just do, we'll just hang out. I mean, we're just going to eat. We'll share stories. Might have a little 10 or 15 minute Bible study or devotion together. But be a great time of guys getting to know guys. Dudes doing things together. If any of you are like me, I have 3 women in my house. I need this night. All right? It's important to have a guys night. And she needs me out of the house apparently for a little bit, okay? So that's Thursday night. If you're writing things down, Thursday night here at the church. September the 29th, and we'll do some type of meat feast, okay? Thursday night, September the 29th, 6:30 here at the church, okay? And then that Friday, the September 30th, if you ordered one of those 8-Air Warrior family shirts, they should be in by then. The shirts are literally on back order, but I'm going to talk to them tomorrow. And what we're doing as part of the LP project, Jamie Luker, where you at? Jamie's right here. She's over our outreach kind of stuff, and we do what we call LP Project. If you don't know what the LP Project is, it literally means this: loving people, okay? That's what the LP stands for. And so we do certain outreach events to the community. She's looking at doing a third Thursday night thing in Pryor, and so she'll have more information about that at the I don't know, what's downtown. Okay, it'll kick in October, okay? So she'll have information about that, but what they'll do is we'll get those shirts coming, and then with that, we might have time where we need to set up a night to tie some stuff on those, or if we get some other stuff to go with them. The school, 8-Air School, has allowed us to sponsor basically part of those shirts. They say that, but then they have our church logo on the side. Those will be thrown out at the football game, all right? So those will be thrown out for people in the community to have to wear with some information and other things that we'll do. So we'll probably hand out stuff through the stands then. Miss Nancy's the cheerleading coach. They'll take care of throwing them out for us that night. You don't get to chunk them at people, sorry. But they'll take care of doing that for us. And so Jamie can get you some more information about, once we get a little bit closer when they come in, what night we want to get together and do that. But that's September 30th. What that is that's homecoming, okay? That's homecoming night. I don't even remember who played. Ron, do you remember who? Chelsea. Is that Chelsea? So we play Chelsea, which is also in our community, kind of close to here. We have some of you that come maybe from Chelsea or Chelsea area. So that'd be a great night that the school has allowed us to do that. And so t-shirts are one way, and then the LP with the Pryor, downtown Pryor, that they get on the third Thursday. They also do things like Country Lane in Bonita. If you've never heard of that, it's a family mental facility. I don't know what the right wording is for that.
residential care facility.
Residential care home, okay? And so every quarter or every several months, months, we go over there. Like the summer, they took them watermelon. You guys went and had a watermelon feast and things like that. We've taken pizza, chicken. Did we take chicken one time? Things like that. Those people don't have family, right? They don't have a lot of family that come to visit them and things like that. So that's a great way of giving back to people who really can't give anything back to us. And that's a blessing, because what they give back to us is the joy of getting to serve them. Is the joy of knowing that that this is what Jesus would want us to do. We usually do a couple songs, somebody gives a devotion to them. We go right after church on that Sunday. All right, right after church on that Sunday, and do things like that. Okay, what?
We're probably going to try going to
In 2 weeks. Okay, so the 25th. 25th. Okay, September 25th. They will be going. So you can write that down. September 25th. They'll be going over there. Anybody is welcome to go to that. They'll leave as soon as the 10:45 service is over. Typically, you can either bring some food or stop at Woodshed real quick, grab something, and go on and do that one. Okay? You guys writing this stuff down? Because I'm having to write it down. I had to write it down as well. I will also try to get this typed out and things like that for you guys to get them put out there. That's okay. After home football games, all right? After the home football games, so on like the 30th, homecoming, we do what we call overtime. How many of you have ever heard of fifth quarter? Right? You've heard of fifth quarter? That's exactly what this is, except we just changed the name. It just sounds pretty cool to say overtime. And so we have students come, junior high and high school, after the football game. We keep them here till midnight. If you want to help stay up till midnight, that would be great. And we play ball with them. We have a lesson. We play volleyball. We let them hang out. We serve them food. Just a great time of reaching out to those students in that area. So if you guys want to help with that September 30th homecoming, the LP night, that will be the night that we have the next overtime for them. So we'll have pop, and last time we did pizza. We'll do maybe chili cheese dogs, nachos this time, burgers. I don't know. Jeff, where you at? Jeff and Marla, right back there. That was kind of Jeff and Marla's heart last year. Started that and just reaching some of the kids and certain areas like that. Listen, this year also, Adair First Baptist is doing it. And I want to tell you this, that's absolutely great, right? We love the fact that they're doing that and that churches can do it together, that they can do theirs and do it. That's more kids that are off the street, right? I don't care about having 100 kids here. I care about having 100 kids off the street. If they're there, if they're here, wherever, it's a great opportunity for us to do that together. And so, to do that at the same kind of time, all right? So, overtime will be that. That's 6th grade through 12th grade, and things like that. Let's see. Where am I? Amber, where you at? Amber, raise your hand, okay? This is Amber Ramsey. If you ever call up here and you get her, or you come by and see her, Amber is going to start helping me out with my computer work 10 hours a week. She started just helping me out, like printing bulletins. You're going to get reminders from her, because here's the truth of the matter. You ready for this? I'm a guy and forget things. It happens. I'm one dude. And so she has helped me a ton and is going to help me. So if you guys, there's going to be certain times you'll get messages from her and things like that. She's been a blessing, and it's good when I go and visit people or at hospitals and things like that. She'll be here to cover the phones. Sometimes she won't be here. Sometimes she'll just be doing it from the house. But she's going to help out about 10 hours a week. So I want you guys to know her. That way, if you get something from her, you're not like, why is she sending me this? I don't even know who this lady is. Okay, she's doing it for me. All right, she's doing it for us on behalf of the church. So that will be great. Whitney, come here. This is my wife. If you don't know her, this is Whitney. She is, last year we did Operation Christmas Child. If you've been here for a few weeks, we collected washcloths. We collected crowns or Crayolas or crayons, however you want to say it. Crayons, I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, right? But we collect that stuff, and last year we sent 350 boxes overseas, and I believe our boxes, most of them went to Ecuador, is the email that we got. So we get to kind of track them and see where they're going, and we stuff these boxes, and so we'll have a packing night, things like that. She'll tell you a little bit more about that, and about what we're going to collect, and give me a chance to.
Okay, we have 9 weeks until we're going to pack the boxes, and what happens is we have been collecting stuff on and off for the last couple months, and every other week until then we're going to keep collecting. And we were supposed to do soap today, but we failed on that one because we forgot to remind you. Hence, Amber's going to help me with that. So we're going to collect soap again next like the 3 packs. It has to be bar soap, nothing liquid can be in the boxes. But what's gonna happen is, what I have left, I believe, is soap, hair things, like ponytail holders, toys are the main thing, and I'll tell you exactly what toys we're only gonna have like 4 options of toys this year. And that might help a little bit. Then what happens is on the 13th, we'll fold boxes before that, a couple weeks before. And then on the 13th, we'll set up, of November, yes, the 13th of November, we will set up a half circle of all the stuff, and we'll all just get in a line and bring the box and fill the boxes, and then tape what the sizes, or what age they are for. And then we will take those that week to Rejoice Church in Owasso, and they will put them to the base to ship them out. But November 13th is the day that we're going to pack the boxes right after church.
And if you know, maybe you work for a business, right?
Yes.
Maybe they're looking for somebody or for a way to invest in the community, get it into your tax write-off. I don't know what that. It costs us $7 a box to send that. Okay, I think we already have about $1,000, $1,100 raised, something in there from Bible school. Our kids at also Bible school, they raised like $400 some just as students to ship out boxes and cover things like that. And so it's $7 a box for us to send that. So we always try to, as we get closer to time, raise the money to do that. When you send 350 boxes, do the math, that's quite a bit. So whether we send 200, 300, 400, it gets to be quite a bit. So we do different things like that. We might have a fundraiser, we might have a pie auction, we might do some things like that to raise it. But if you know somebody that they would be willing to invest, or they want to do a donation, it is tax deductible. We will give them a sheet, letter, whatever they need to do whatever they need to do, okay? If they get that much joy out of it, it will be even better, all right? And so we want them to do that. I want the four leadership team guys. I should have done this earlier when I was talking about the newcomers and stuff. The 4 leadership team men. Would you guys stand up for just a minute? All right? Just want you to see the guys who boss me around all the time. Okay? Now this is Ron Barfield, and that's his wife right next to him, Diana. And Ron kind of takes care of our grounds and facilities, lets me know when things need to be replaced and stuff such as that. This is Craig Boggs, and his wife is the redheaded Penny, not Penny, Penny. Penny, no, good, right? Penny, like E-Christian today, right? If you're in the second service, you got that. She obviously plays on the worship team on the piano as well. And so Craig is kind of the spiritual care guy. He takes care of when you have a baby, funeral, things like that. He gets with Cindy and Amber and different people, and they get food to you guys. If you've ever been taken care of by people in our church or something like that, you know that we have people who can cook, all right? Craig's not one of them who cooks. He just organizes the people who cook. Penny makes a mean chicken and noodles, all right? So that's Craig. Jeff's right back there, and then that's his wife, Marla, right by him. Jeff Kerr, Marla Kerr. Jeff helps out in our financial area. He's a banker, and so Marilyn is our treasurer, which I'll get to her in just a minute. But Jeff kind of, when we do our budgets and things like that, and he's really smart about this. And I'll brag on him for that. It's good to have great leaders, right? Because sometimes you look at a budget and you just kind of say, here's what we brought in, and so here's where we should stay and all that, and we do. But what he's talked about and he shared with us, and I think this is just profound, is that if we just kind of stay right here with what we've been doing budget-wise, well, on a heart monitor, if you're right here, what are you? You're dead. You're not growing. So we planned in there visionary stuff, and I'll share with you that in just a minute. And so we really look to kind of stretch that stuff. And so he takes care of kind of helping us out thought-wise on the budget, and then he teaches kids class. He's over his area, kind of the youth area as well, like not necessarily teaching, but just organizing, helping out with that kind of stuff as well, okay? And this is Harold Hobbs and his wife Marilyn. Again, Marilyn is one, she's our treasurer. She's the lady that if you give money, she makes sure it goes to the right place, all right? She does a great job. I don't ever have to ask. I just ask her, where are we at? She just tells me. It's not a, are we there? She does it so great. Harold is our first impact, first touch leader. If you're a greeter, you've been organized by Harold. I think he's one that he has it organized through the rest of the year because he loves to be on the computer. So Harold is also a Facebook preacher, all right? Facebook evangelist preacher. No, I'm not joking. He reaches so many people just with the thoughts and stuff he posts out there on that. And so he takes care of organizing that kind of stuff. And then because he's one of the 4 have to be retired. He's retired, so he also gets my calls quite a bit to come and help with things like that. So that's those guys. You guys can have a seat. I just want you to know that in case you didn't know them. Dana, where you at? Good, Sean. You can stand up. Kristen, stand up for just a minute. Okay. Andrew, stand up. Ricky, stand up. Okay. Sean and Dana take care of our students that are 5th grade and under department. They teach the second grade, right? So second grade to fifth grade. They teach the 10:45 service, and then Andrew over here, he teaches the 9:15 service. But they organize, she gets all of the lessons ready, takes care of the scheduling for all the teachers and things like that. So her and Sean have been doing this really since the church began, honestly, probably, right? Or at least quite a bit of time, 7 years or so. Close to it. Since before I've been here, which is 5 years. And they're phenomenal what they do. Andrew's phenomenal at teaching. They love students, those guys. Whitney, she helps out with them as well, as many of you do, but she also helps on Wednesday nights with the teenagers, so she's back there in the back with them. And then Kristen is our worship leader. If you haven't met her, that's Kristen. She's our worship leader. She also helps teaching with life groups and teaching women's groups and things, and we have that as well. So you guys can have a seat. I just want to try to cover the bases as much as I can, okay? I'm looking at my check marks here. Okay, a couple more dates I want you to write down if you've got them. 2 more. These will also be, in case you're wondering, they'll be typed up in the white lobby down in between the kids' classrooms. There's a bulletin board on the south side. There will be a calendar every month with these events, I'm telling you, in there. Okay, so when we hit October, the October one will be posted. Also, when we hit October, we will print 20, 25 copies and we'll stick them on the back table of the sanctuary so that you can pick them up. When they're gone, we'll print some more if we need to, all right? We want you to be clued in, and one thing that I understand, about 2 services is sometimes it feels out of the loop, even though you love it, and we need it to grow. And I'm admitting that to you, and I'm admitting that that's one area that I can get better at. And so that's where Amber will help me computer-wise. My wife's can help me organizational-wise. We want to relay that to you. And so that's one area that I can tell you. I can ask you 2 things. I can ask you, number 1, be patient as we are learning through this process, okay, as we're growing. Number 2, pray for us. Pray for us as we are growing. We're doing the absolute best that we can, but as I've always said, we have a lot of room for growth. So, but I want you to know that that's something new we're doing so that you will know when these things are coming out. I'm throwing a lot at you tonight just so that you can hear these things coming up, but you will also get this in writing when it comes time for the month as well, okay? 2 dates to write down. October 22nd, all right? Saturday, October 22nd. Mike, where you at? Mike, raise your hand. This is Mike Nichols. He and some other pastors, some pastors that he knows from India, right? One of them's from India, and then other pastors around. Meigs County is doing a Meigs County prayer walk, okay? Meigs County prayer walk is called an Hour of Power, right? And on October 22nd at the Locust Grove football field, all right? Locust Grove football field at 11 o'clock in the morning. From 11 to 12, they're just asking the community and people to gather around, and there's a list of what we're going to be praying over. We're going to be praying over our students. We're going to be praying over our teachers. We're going to be praying over our politicians. We're going to be praying over our pastors, youth leaders, everybody. There's a list of things we're going to pray about. And so what we want to do is we definitely want to be involved in that. And so he's going to get some more information to me. We'll relay it to you. But it's literally from 11 to 12 on Saturday, October 22nd. And I would love, we'll probably meet here at 10 or something like that. We'll take a group with us, whoever wants to go and be involved. You can meet over there if you'd like to. But that would be something great for us as a church to bind together in with other churches in our community and other Christians and say, hey, we're going to seek the Lord and we're going to pray. And it's based on the 2 Chronicles 7:14. When my people, who are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn away from their wicked ways, I will hear their prayers and heal their nations. And we need that. We know that we need that in the world that we live in. So we want to come together. And that's their theme verse for that. So that's October 22nd, Meigs County Prayer Walk, Hour of Power. Okay, Locust Grove football field. And then the last date that I want you to write down is Saturday, October the 29th. Okay? Every year we do an annual hayride, bonfire, chili cook-off. Alright? Last year we did it here. Previously, most years we did it at Craig and Penny's. This year we're going to do it at Craig and Penny Bob's house. We'll give you information about that. They set up lights. We do outside. We have a bonfire. We roast hot dogs and things like that. It's great that'd be a great time for everybody to come together that night and to just hang out and get to know people, all right? Fellowship is one of we take not only just kids, but kids and adults on hayrides. Harold takes them. Harold and Craig, they live, what, half a mile apart, something like that. So he takes them up through his land and his pasture. We have a great time just fellowshipping together. So that's Saturday night, October 29th. I think that Christy has won before, right? Christy's won the chili cook-off. Jim, did you win it last year? Two years ago? Yeah. 2 years ago, Jeff won it 1 year, right? 3 or 4 years ago, I believe.
They've all cheated ever since.
They've all cheated ever since Jeff has won, right? And then so I think since we've done, Janice Price has won it, Jeff's won it, Jim has won it, and did you win it last year? You won it the first year. Who won it last year? Huh? Okay, somebody won, I can't remember who won last year, but you get a huge trophy and everything. No, you get nothing, I'm just kidding. You get chili. We don't have anything for you. Maybe some Skittles that we can pull out the shelf or something like that. So you get bragging rights for a year, okay? So we've had everything from deer chili to any kind of chili. We want to make spicy, sweet, and we always get to nominate, we always get to pick 4 or 5 judges to go up there and taste with us. I think, McKenna, have you been a judge with me before? Right. Been a judge. Sean's been a judge. I think several of you guys have been a judge, unless you enter chili. Rob, were you a judge? Anyone? No? You're a judge this year, okay? I'm starting early, y'all. Planning, all right? Planning ahead. Write that down, somebody, so don't forget, okay?
Don't forget to bring your lawn chairs.
Yes, absolutely. Bring your lawn chairs. We'll have some metal chairs, but let's be real, those don't feel very good. Okay? You have a question? Yes. 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 We're going to have enough room to park out your place? We can park on that 5 acres, right? They had that 5 acres mowed down right in front of it. So we will fill their 5 acres, all right? With plenty of room to do that. So that's a good question. We didn't talk about that, so we need to double check on that. But we'll have that room to park as well. They live like 4 miles from here, basically that way. And so we'll meet here for people who don't know where they're at so that you can follow up and things like that. It'll be around 6 o'clock, all right? That's still a little ways off. We haven't really set for sure time, but it'll be 6 or 6:30, something like that. And that way we have time, still you guys can hang out, still get out there, plenty of time to get home and get rest. So that nobody uses the excuse that they're too tired to come to church the next day, okay? We will all still be here at 9:15 the next morning, all right? And so the other announcement that I want to give to you, just a prayer item, okay? Something for you guys to be praying. We are so excited as we've been growing, as we've launched the 2 services, we've seen God bless that. For 2 years, if you've been with us for a while, for 2 years in the budget, you've seen a visionary budget line that at some point we feel like we would need to hire a full-time associate pastor. We feel like that is what's going to help us grow. Well, we continue to grow, our finances continue to grow, and now we're to that point where we feel like as the leadership team we've talked, we need to make that next step. We need to take that step. And so we are in the beginning, and I say beginning as in very early, beginning processes of writing a job description. What's that even look like? What are the areas that they will even be over? It's writing that, excuse me, at the conference that I'm going to in a couple weeks, one of the deals there are what's the necessities and things like that of churches and growth and staff and things like that. So I'm going to go to that to learn more. This is a new process. But we're beginning that, and so we'll get that into our state hands, to the people who can publish that and put it out and things like that once we get ready for that. Here's what we'll do with you guys. We will let you know as we go what's happening, right? So right now, here's what you need to know. We're beginning, and soon, within the next couple of weeks, we'll post it out that we're looking for a full-time, what we'll call is an associate pastor, because it won't just be one area. There will be multiple areas in that. And once we get the job description finished up and stuff, I will print that out and you guys can look over that so that you know to be praying specifically about what we're looking for. So after I get back from that conference, we'll do it. So you guys be praying, listen, this isn't a 1-month process. This isn't, oh, we're hiring. This is by the end of the year, first of the year, like we want to hire and bring people in to serve who God calls to this church to do so. We want to make sure that the right process is being taken. So when we get to the point where we've got names and we start figuring out things like that, then we'll let you guys know where we're at with that. We'll let you know when it's time when we're going to bring somebody in to talk to us and to meet with us and to pray with us and the things like that. So what I'm asking you to do is to pray for the leadership team as we are beginning this and starting. This has been a long time coming, and it's still going to be a little bit of a long time away, but there's kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. And what we are thanking God for is the fact that for 2 years we've been praying about this. We've told you this. We put it in the budget for this. And we're finally getting to that point where we can see God doing that. And that, you know, with that guy that comes in here as the associate, he is going to be able to help us grow even more, not numerically, but spiritually. Listen, one coach doesn't run a football team, doesn't run a basketball team, and you have to have great assistants. And those are volunteers. Listen, for all of you who are volunteers, this isn't your ticket out of volunteering, all right? There's not at all. This is one more guy just to help things and to help spiritually grow, disciple people, and disciple you all as families and things such as that. So I want you guys just to be praying about that. And as we get farther along into it, on whatever Sunday when we know that, at both services, I will let you know where we're at. We want to keep you in the know and up to date. And so the best way to tell you is we're beginning right now. We have no names, right? We're just finishing a job description, looking what that looks like. We haven't even sent it out to like our state organization and things like that. Nothing like that at this point. We are in the beginning phases of that. When we get to that point, if you notice, we don't have a lot of business meetings, right? Tonight isn't a business meeting, it's a family meeting. We do have those at the end of the year, but when we get to that point, we will have multiple, either 1 or 2 business meetings to talk to you, to share with you, to get your questions and questions that we have, input, and back and forth. We will do that together, okay? We will do that together in that. But at the first part that I can tell you is just be praying. We're excited to see, listen, churches don't grow overnight, right? And they can only go so far. I've been through like the Nelson Searcy leadership model and great churches and churches that are now tens of thousands. Listen, we don't even live in a community that's tens of thousands of people, but what I do know is that only 10 to 12%, here's what's important to know, and I told you this before, only 10 to 12% of Mays County. Now think about how many churches are in Pryor. Think about how many churches are even right here in this small community today. Only 10 to 12% of Mays County are churched people. The rest are unchurched, which means there is a great work still to do. There's a great work still to do. And so we're excited about this new process of doing it. And I am excited about what you guys are doing. The way that you are inviting people. I talked to some of you. Some of you guys are like on a holy terror of inviting people to church, all right? And I praise God for your faithfulness. I praise the Lord for your service. I praise God for how you're working diligently to serve Him. And I thank you, and I want to tell you this, I'm going to just keep this part short so I don't get choked up in. From my wife and I want to tell you thank you for how you love us, for how you've shown grace to us through being young. I know my age, I just had a birthday this week, all right? While I feel a whole lot older, some of you would still laugh because you could be my parents right now, okay? I understand that, but I want you to know that I appreciate the way that you love not only me as the pastor, but the way that you love my wife, the way that you love our girls. Our girls are excited to go to church. And I can be honest with you and tell you, I know some pastors, who even kids at their small age, they don't want to go to church. They don't want to do it. They don't get to see Gabby. They don't get to see whatever. You guys have loved our family and loved me and allowed us to do that. And so from our leadership team down to you guys, I get texts through the week. I've got multiple texts this week from people. It's not about me at all, but I tell you what, sometimes I'm just going to be honest, it gets hard, right? How many of you, your job ever gets a little bit hard? Maybe, like, well, I love ministry, it's still a little bit of a job, okay? And so, but the old saying, if you love what you do, it's not really a job, that's really true. I absolutely love it, but you guys are why I love it. So I want to thank you guys as a whole, from the new people to people who have been here from the very beginning. You make this a joy, and you make it worth it, the craziness of it all. And so for me and my family, my daughter, just like I shared with you this morning at the late service, she asked Jesus into her heart. She's beginning that process of her faith. That doesn't, number one, that I believe that does happen because her mother is very faithful in our home. She's a stay-at-home mom, teaching them about the Lord and training them up in the way they should go. And I choose to play a small part in that. Honestly, the mom, Whitney, takes care of so much of that, and that's a blessing to her. But it's also because of great teachers. She comes home and every Wednesday and she tries to tell us what Meemaw taught her, what Penny taught her, what Dana taught her. You know, she was telling us this Wednesday about, we learned about a donkey, you know, and we made a donkey and all this, and she couldn't remember all the names. She got like 90% of it right. So I thought I knew the story, but I'm like, I'm going to text Dana and just make sure. But she wants to share that. And what I love about it as a 4-year-old is wanting to be active in her faith. And I'll tell you what, that's a proud father moment for me. But I'm proud in the way of knowing that our church people, I'm not teaching my daughter that. I am at home, but she's learning this stuff in church. That's an applause to you guys and to our teachers. I think that if you don't know what it takes, on an average, just to make a week of church work here together, it takes like 35 people volunteering for classes, from cleaning. Christy and Aaron, they take care of cleaning from every aspect. It takes 35 to 40 volunteers. I think that we have, Dana, what is our kid volunteer area? Around 60 between every little class, 50 to 60 people who have volunteered just to help out in teaching our students. We have 12 to 15 probably different greeters and you know, things like that and their family doing. Just like Dana said this morning, we would love for you to, number one, get involved yourself. Number two, get your students involved. I'll tell you a quick story and then I'll shut up because you want to eat some more, I know. I'm a preacher, I don't ever shut up, I'm just lying to you, okay? Reese Winger, where are you at? Is he here? He's right there. About 3 weeks ago, we talked about getting our students involved. Some of them have handed bulletins. Josh Kerr started handing out bulletins with Bobby, and they have way more personality sometimes than what we do as adults, right? Like, they smile at people. They make them feel welcome. So Josh is doing that. Look at him. He's back there cheesing it up right now. Don't let that smile deceive you, okay? But they started doing things like that. And so Reese, I said, Reese, I have a job for you. Do you want to do it? And he didn't even ask me, what is it? He just said, yeah. Then he said, what is it, right? But he agreed, so I roped him in first. And I said, hey, when you get here, and they come to the 10:45 service, I said, when you get here early, that was an incentive to get your mom here early, okay? When he gets here early, I said, I want you to walk around in the sanctuary, and I just want you to shake people's hands and tell them. Just want you to do it. And he, like, kind of almost got like a football type stance. And he's like, okay. And I was like, ready? Go. And he took off running. And he did it right then. You know why? Because kids love Jesus. And kids feel a part of serving, and they love things to do like that. I love seeing Josh in them out. I love seeing today an older kid, not Seth, but Caleb, right? I call him the wrong name all the time. Caleb was standing at the door. They needed, I think Carol stepped away. They needed somebody to hold bulletins. Caleb just held the bulletins and handed them to people coming in. Like this, what we desire so much at this church is to be a family church. And here's what you need to know about family. We don't have it all together. Any of you got anybody like that in your family? For you French fries sort of a happen meal? You got a pastor that's French fries sort of a happen meal, alright? We don't have it all together. We have family struggles. We have people who are imperfect. And you know what? That's exactly what Jesus wants for a church. I'm not saying that he wants us to be imperfect and broken. He wants us to come to him imperfect and broken and trust that he is a God who heals, forgives, strengthens, and encourages. And that's what I love about this church. With growth comes growing pains, just like when your kids have it. Listen, we go through growing pains, we go through mistakes. We say all services are subject to change due to the Holy Spirit. Christians change songs. I've changed sermons before. We've changed things. We've had things. We have our struggles. All right? We have our stuff, but we do the very best. And that's the one thing I can tell you about every person. Scott, raise your hand over there. Scott's kind of taking on leading our life groups. He's taken us through training and things like that. Him and Nancy have done that. They've helped, and so we are figuring out, and more people are jumping in and serving and getting involved. And so our life group leaders right now are Scott and Nancy. There, you guys can raise your hand there. We have Jamie and Kevin. Kevin's working right now, right? They're teaching one. Patty and Tom. You guys raise your hand right over there. And then Craig and Penny right back there. They're teaching our 4 life groups. Listen, very quickly, those 4 life groups are going to have to turn into 6 life groups, which are going to have to turn into 8 life groups. You know what that means? That means some of you guys are going to start leading a life group. Shelly and Craig are going to lead a life group at some point, just in case you need to know that, okay? Maybe, if God says so. Lord tell them so. People are going to lead life groups. People are going to step up and be involved. And sometimes you're going to want to pull your hair out. Any of you ever been a parent? Any of you ever want to pull your head out as a parent? Or any of you ever want to pull your parents' hair out? One of the two, right? I mean, Jim doesn't have kids in the house anymore, so therefore he can have a full beard, right? And they're not pulling at it. But sometimes you ever see Jim just stroke his beard? I think it's just he wants to pull it out sometimes, right? Because we're human, and that happens, and that's where our imperfections come. But man, we have a great church and great people here. And we want to raise great, strong families for the Lord. And so I'm thankful for you guys. Thankful for you being here. Just to get a little bit of information to pray ahead. Listen, like I said, these will be typed out. There will be a calendar. This is a lot of information. The good thing about it is Billy runs our video and stuff back there. You guys can look at Billy. Everybody say hi, Billy. Good. You just made the camera for tonight. Okay? Billy's going to put this, and while he puts the sermons, if you have it, Melissa's going to put this. Behind every good man's a great woman. There she is, right there. All right. They have to go to Oklahoma City tonight, right? They have to stay there, but they're here because this was important for them to be here. I appreciate that kind of effort and love of a church. And so they'll get this, they being her, will get this uploaded on Facebook to our church page with the sermon. They put it out there every week. On Tuesday nights, Billy's starting a program called Celebrate Recovery. It's getting rolling, right? They're getting advertising right now more and more out there. It's in the drug court system now, right? So Celebrate Recovery is not just for drug addicts, but it's for any type of people struggling with addictions, hurt, pain, all that kind of
Hurts,
stuff.
habits, or hang-ups.
Huh?
Hurts, habits, or hang-ups.
Hurts, habits, or hang-ups. That's kind of the model behind it. So if you're interested in helping something like that, Tuesday nights, see Billy and Melissa. Billy's got a degree in his counseling thing and all that. This is a great area for him to serve and see him, and they'll get you plugged in on things and learning how that we can get this really going. It takes time to get things going, but once it gets going, I believe that it'll kick off faithfully, and we'll see people find freedom and healing through this kind of stuff. Okay, so you can see them for that. All right, leaders. Did I miss anything? Please tell me no, because I'm talked out today. Did I miss anything else you can think of? Anybody have any questions? Okay. Who painted the wall? Here's what we were doing in this. If you haven't looked at the walls, we've been here about 3.5 years, right? Closer, it'll be 4 years in April. It's time for a touch-up. We need to touch up. So if any of you have a couple days off this week and you want to come up here, literally during the day, we're going to just go with touch-up paint, touch up the red wall, the white wall, the sanctuary, build some stuff with spackling. I know Harold loves to paint, right? So he's probably coming. No, Harold hates paint. He's not coming for that, right? But if any of you have some time, or even in the evening, listen, I don't mind opening the door for you and letting you come in. Like, if you're still from the church, then God rest your soul, all right? But we trust you, all right? So we need to touch up everything. Well, with that, when you paint one wall like that on a smaller sanctuary, if you paint the whole thing, it's going to look smaller. A dark wall with the wall that's your projector things gives us kind of depth perception to it. There's literally, I know it sounds weird, but there's literally even studies that show that kind of stuff. So in touching up, we need to touch that. Our sound booth is the brown. We wanted to paint one wall that, leave everything else light, gives the difference. It'll make that screen pop out a little bit more. The crosses that we have hanging up there, they're going to go back up this week, right? There will be like a little wood decor, however you decoration, whatever, go up on behind those, give it a little bit of stuff with it. So Craig and Penny spent 8 hours up here yesterday, something like that, painting that. What we were gonna do is I was gonna come here tonight and tell you, hey, we're gonna flip everything this week. Problem is, Craig and Penny are leaving next weekend, and he's the painter in the church. He said, I'll take care of that, at least that part of it this Saturday. So that's why we stripped everything down and doing that. So if you are available any this week and you want to come up here and help, I'll either meet you through the day, or we'll make sure that you can get in here. I'll show you where everything is, and we'll just be touching up stuff. I know my wife and I are going to come up and paint, whoever wants to. So we're just going to not repaint everything, literally. We just need to go touch up and kind of spruce the place up a little bit. There's stuff from Bible school where we took things down, you just see the white and stuff. We just want to make it look clean. God has given us a wonderful facility, and we believe it's our job to take care of that, right? And so how many of you take care of your house? If you don't raise your hand, right? I'm not trying to call anybody out here, but you take care of your house. You make sure your house is in order. In the book of Haggai, the Lord is saying, listen, why is it that, basically, paraphrase, why is it that your house is great, but my house lays in ruins? So we always want to be careful to take care of what God has given us. And so Craig and Penny did that. I think that they did a great job, right? We'll do some things probably to the little red wall, whether we do wood, whether we paint it brown. We'll do things, but it's just one step at a time. And here's the deal. Paint's pretty cheap. I'll tell you the God story even behind paint. I know this is crazy, but God story behind paint. The paint that we got, the interior, Craig works over at Pixley Lumber. That's where we bought most of our stuff through building the church. His boss told him, hey, we're discontinuing this style of paint. We have 6 gallons left. It takes 3 gallons. We talked about maybe doing one more wall, which would take 3. I don't know if we'll do that, but he was able to buy 6 gallons for the price of what he would buy 3 gallons of normal cost for. So, we got 6 gallons of paint for $120. $120, and it changes a lot of things. And so even God's story is in paint. I know that sounds crazy, but the Lord takes care of the details, right? He does. So any other? That's a good question. I should have said that. Any other questions? No more? You can get up and go if you need to go to the bathroom. Come on, you got to go to the bathroom now. All right. There are more questions? I'm getting the cue to shut up from my wife. And apparently my second wife, all right? Okay, let's stand together, and this is going to be tough, but here's what I want you to do. I want us to make a big circle around this